guys, this is the first vlog of the car. Now I'm going to do a few of these episodes, I reckon, just as I go through the changes I'll make to the V8. So here it is. It's an EL 1998 Ford Falcon. Now this is the V8 model with the automatic, currently automatic. So when I first got the car, I actually purchased it at an auction where I picked it up for just a little bit over $1,000. Now the car was classified as a stolen recovery, and what that meant was that the vehicle could still be put back on the road, but I had to do a little bit of work. But there wasn't actually much missing off the car. It's actually when I got the car home and actually was able to open it all up, I found that all the parts were in the boot, and all I did was check all the oils and fluids and basically started the car straight up. So the only real major changes that I have done, install the supercharger, and since then it's basically been sitting there waiting for the car to be tuned. And we've got a lot of temporary stuff on the car at the moment. So a couple of the main things that are temporary is the bonnet and also the front bumper, because I'll be changing those over soon. And here we have the supercharged V8. So you might have seen in another video of mine, I did the bracket for this mass airflow sensor, so we've got that all attached. Temporary pod filter at the moment, which is tied down. Yeah, so we'll be changing things over time. This car hasn't been started for a few years now, so let's get in and start it up. Alright, we've got a few more temporary things in here. You can see the dash component is missing at the moment. I haven't put it all back together. I'm waiting to get the tune and everything else done first, which will be happening today as well. So I'll be taking the car down later on to get the guy to tune it. And just if you're wondering what I've got here, it's an air to fuel ratio LED matrix across the top, so we can see if it's too rich or too lean, and we want it sitting in the middle. Now the car does takes a bit just to get it idling right, so that's one of the things that the tune will hopefully fix. But yeah, I might have to go and fill up the car as well because there hasn't been much petrol in it. But let's turn it over. Alright guys, so I took the car down and filled it up with petrol. Here's the receipt. So yeah, that's quite expensive. So I filled it up 98 octane fuel. Now I did that because I've only got 98 available close to me where I live. Any higher than that, I'd have to go into Geelong, which is about 20 minutes away at least, considering the car hasn't been tuned yet. I didn't want to risk filling it up with certain fuels and having a mixture of two. I'm happy to keep 98 in it. It's going to be tuned on 98. And what I ended up doing was driving the car down to the tuners. Now, on the way there, not only did the temporary pod filter fall off that actual hose, which I then had to kind of jerry rig up on the side of the street. That was a bit of a pain, but I ended up getting it to there. The car along the way started having some issues of actually driving. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get any footage of that, but basically the car wouldn't even idle properly. Even under acceleration, it sounded like it was flooding or something like that, and it was basically, the RPM was just going whoop, 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 whoop. And it couldn't accelerate properly. It was blowing black smoke. I'm assuming it's to do with some type of issue with the tuning or the fuel. One of the other things that did happen, I started getting this knocking sound in the left front wheel arch. Now, I could tell it wasn't an engine issue because every time I pulled up at the lights or stopped at a stop sign, there was no noise. So the engine was fine. It revved up when it was actually revving to make sure that it wasn't some ticking sound from the engine. So that wasn't the issue. What it seemed was there was something wrong with that wheel. Every time it was turning over, you could hear it clunk, clunk, clunk. So I'm assuming it's maybe some type of wheel bearing issue or something like that. It's been sitting there on dollies for quite a while now, so whether or not it had something to do with the car basically sitting on wheel bearing for too long and it's gone, I'm not quite sure. Basically, I said to my tuner that for him to just throw it on there, get it running, let's see what's going on, and hopefully we can sort out the issues after that. So that's really about it for this episode, and make sure you subscribe to keep up to date, because I'm going to keep coming out with these videos and showing you this car as it's getting more and more done to it. So make sure you hit the like button as well. Until the next episode, thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.